Okay, so today we're going to talk about correct grooming procedure for the rider level 2 English specifically. So English rider level requires you to wear a helmet when you're grooming the horse and working around the horse. You do not have to have a fancy show shirt and breeches on. You have to have workmanlike attire, a tidy shirt, a pair of jeans is even acceptable, and boots of some sort. Not dressed like you have a barn and it's cold out today. So the requirements for the video, specifically when we're testing remotely, say that the video may be taken from a side view of the horse and the candidate may demonstrate from only the one side while explaining. When we're testing rider levels, you have to also look at the rubric. And the rubric is a specific document that outlines what each basically box that we're examining the requirements are. So in this one, it specifically says, demonstrate the technique of using the dandy brush, body brush, and safely using the hoof pick. So if you can't demonstrate those brushes, we have to fail you. If you forget about the body brush, and it's an automatic fail. So the point of that actually is just that you got to read the rubrics too. Before you do each of these videos or you head off to your test with your examiner, read through the rubrics, make sure that you're meeting all of the criteria so that you can be successful. The thing I see, because I test a lot of riders that live in remote areas, is that they're always trying to make what's the word? So before we get started on grooming Corky today, a couple things to know when you're doing this testing remotely. Your horse should be tied in a safe area, whether that's a paddock, a pen, a stall, somewhere. We shouldn't see loose dogs, children running around. And the other thing I want you to remember too is that I can only evaluate, or any evaluator can only evaluate what they see during that video. So if I know that you generally start with the curry comb and you don't today, if I don't see that in that video, I have to make the assumption that you don't know how to do it. So I'm going to get started, hopefully with a hoof pick. No hoof pick. Oh, there's a hoof pick. So I have my little brush bag here. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. I'm going to start by picking the horse's feet. I'm going to run my leg down the leg, pick it up, and I'm going to talk while I'm doing this as a candidate because it says technique. So I will say I'm going to put the hoof pick in at the side of the frog or right in the corner of the hoof, pick downward. And all the dirt's going to fall out. I'm looking for rocks. I'm looking to see that the hoof is clean. It doesn't smell funny. And then I'm going to set the foot down. So same thing on the back foot. I'm going to talk through it. I'm going to reach my hand down. I'm going to pick up the back foot, facing the same way as him. I'm going to put the hoof pick right in the corner, right beside the frog, and I'm going to pick down, making sure that the dirt's falling out and that there's no stones or anything in his feet. Now, because this video only requires one side, I won't go ahead and do the other. I'm going to go back to my brush bag. I'll show now my next brush is the curry comb, and I'll say that I'm going to do circular motion starting at the top of the neck. What the curry comb does is it breaks up any hardened dirt, brings everything kind of the surface of the coat. Now, remember that if you're talking that way, it's a lot harder to hear. You need your examiner to be able to hear you. So you want to look back at the camera every now and again. In this instance, I'm using it on the belly. I do use the curry comb only on the fleshy areas, meaning areas that have lots of muscle and or fat. I'm not going to use them on the leg. Corky particularly loves being brushed under his belly because he's weird. All right, and once that's done, I'm going to move on to my dandy brush. So my dandy brush is a hard bristled brush, and I'm going to start at the top of the neck again, and I'm going to use a flicking motion, and I want to see all of that dirt flying off. I want to go in the same direction as the hair, and I can use the dandy brush on the legs. And the reason why I start at the top of the neck is one, so the horse knows I'm there, but two, because that way I'm going in the direction of the hair, and I'm also not brushing hair into areas where I just brushed. So you can see Cork is shedding this a little bit, his summer coat, which is good. He needed a brush today. I'm going to do the same thing. I've done underneath his girth / cinch area, making sure that was clean. Making sure in between his legs is clean. Good, and that's it for the dandy brush. So our last brush is a body brush, and it will have softer bristles than our dandy brush. And I'm going to go in the direction of the hair and get the last little bit of dirt that's come to the surface that I maybe missed with the last brush. And I'm not going to flick. Just going to run it down. Again, you want to be touching your horse at the same time. You can use all the brushes except for the curry comb on the legs, in between his legs. Just like that. That's how you show your grooming procedure for the rider level 2.